So we're looking at something called velocity tracker or storm relative velocity, and we're looking at inbound and outbound winds from the radar, which is way down here, down towards Joliet and Romeoville area. And wherever you have the reds next to the greens, is inbound next to the outbound, that's usually a sign of circulation. That happens to be right west of McHenry there. I'm going to zoom in on this area. This is where we're seeing Doppler indicated rotation, which could mean a tornado. The Storm Prediction Center had upgraded us earlier today to that moderate risk. That's level 4 out of 5. High would be the strongest risk of severe storms. We're in the moderate risk, and that means some long-lasting, very intense, widespread storms, and that's what we talked about earlier. The last time we saw a derecho this strong was back in early July, back in 2011. At that point, it came through the morning hours, and we had about almost 900,000 people in the Chicago area without power. So you see this kind of bowing shape to it. This is what we call a bow echo, and this is called a derecho. It means straight or straight ahead. It's a line of thunderstorms that can travel about 250 miles or more, and straight eastward in this case, and laying down some damage all along the way. Yeah, the atmosphere was primed with a lot of heat, a lot of moisture. At one point, the heat index, what it feels like, the combination of heat and humidity, it felt like 100 to 105 degrees, and these storms harnessed all that energy. So that squall line that developed, as you said, earlier this afternoon, right across eastern Iowa, they had reports of wind gusts up to 110 miles per hour. It held together for the most part as it raced off towards the east. Still a lot of lightning with this. The last hour or so, we're seeing lightning strikes getting up to around 2,500 or more in this little box. We kind of zoomed in on the area. Here's the squall line moving off towards the east. Now, in the wake of this, we have what's called a wake low developing, an area of low pressure, so that all the air tries to rush towards the center. Hobart about 4:15. So if you're under a warning, you need to get to an interior room, lowest floor of your house, preferably a basement. Get under some sturdy furniture, under a staircase if it goes down to the center of your basement. You want to be in the center of your basement. Cover yourself up with towels, blankets, mattress, anything you can. Protect your head for sure. This is again that three-dimensional scan. And the good news is these have been shrinking a little bit. At one point, these storms are reaching up to heights of around 55 to 60,000 feet. So you're talking about, up to about 10 miles high up into the atmosphere, and that's a really good indication. You're talking about some severe weather with these storms. There was a very strong storm DeKalb earlier this afternoon. Explosion caught on camera here. Looks like a transformer sparked. Wait for it. There it is. Our viewer says there were 2 smaller explosions after this one. So that's probably the kind of thing we're going to be hearing about. A lot of power outages as transformers trees fall down on them. We have wind damage from these storms as they come on through.
As it lifts to the north and east, that's where we find Tim McGill, who has been in Seneca between Morris and Ottawa. He's been traveling throughout the day. Tim, what are you seeing right now, and how are the conditions there?
Right now, the temperatures here, Rob, are warming up into the mid-60s, so we're getting to that warm sector where it's a little bit more unstable. No rain yet, but it's pretty close. We are in Seneca, about 70 miles southwest of the city, and it was in this town 4 years ago in June 23rd, they had an EF2 tornado that tore through the southwest part of the town at 116 mile per hour winds. We're not expecting anything that bad tonight. Hopefully, it's quiet right now. As you said, there was a warning about an hour southwest of here. First, a tornado warning for Peoria, then downgraded to a severe thunderstorm warning for the Roanoke area. That's the storm that's coming our way. We don't see much in the distance yet, but we're waiting to see what's going to happen here. So we've been kind of tracking these storms all day long. We start off and Joliet ended up in Morris, and we kept moving further and further into the more unstable part of the storm system. So we find ourselves right now in Seneca. And by the way, this is also 100 years ago today. This is the anniversary of the Palm Sunday outbreak, with about 37 tornadoes, most of those significant. We had 1 tornado back then that moved through the Shanahan to Wilmette area, ended up killing 20 people, an F4 tornado. So stay alert out there and keep tuned to CBS 2 Chicago for further updates. Back to you. Hard to believe just a few days ago we had the derecho sweep on through the Chicagoland area. The National Weather Service has added up all the tornadoes, 15 total, all the way from Wheaton down into Indiana and Kentland and Newton County. We had EF0, EF1 strength tornadoes in Rockford all the way through Yorkville. The strongest tornado was the one that hit Rogers Park, had peak winds of 110 miles per hour on the ground for 3 miles. Much quieter around here today, thank goodness. 70 degrees. We've been tracking the severe weather reports on social media. We received a lot of them. This is from Twitter. This is Jasmine in Logan Square, a tree across the street, across Haviland Avenue, blocking her as she tried to get around today. Storm damage reported by Jenny in Rogers Park. You see the sign bent over by winds that gusted between 60 to 80 miles per hour across the area. A lot of damage reported. This is North Riverside. Windy, electricity went out there. We get reports from that area as well. And Lucas reporting on this tree that came down in a van, a minivan, shortly after he got the tornado tornado warning on his phone. This is at Wrightwood in Lincoln Park. So some samples on the social media, severe weather reports we've received. Finally, this is Long Grove, trees, big trees down up that, no match for the storm that came through. We had numerous reports of trees down, power outages as this line of severe storms came on through. Back to you, Erica.
We begin with a real-time weather alert, a live look outside, and you can see it is clear and sunny right now, but just wait. In the next few hours, we could have storms. Let's get right to meteorologist Tim McGill, who's tracking the timing of it all. Tim?
That's right, Jim. Smooth sailing for us right now, but later on tonight, we could be looking for some pretty strong thunderstorms with some damaging winds, some hail. Storm prediction centers place most of the area, including the city of Chicago, in the marginal risk for severe weather. Slight risk areas further south and west. You can see the scale here. That's kind of the low end. It gets all the way up towards moderate and high, but still there is that risk. We'll have to watch out for this. So far, we've been seeing the heavy showers and thunderstorms well to the south and west of the city along kind of a frontal boundary that's stalled all the way from Bloomington towards Pontiac. Those will continue to move off towards the south and east. It's that area, including LaSalle County, that has a severe thunderstorm watch in effect until midnight. Nothing in our immediate area, nothing for the city right now, but that could change. The risk from these storms primarily will be some damaging winds. Winds getting up to 57 miles per hour or more. Hail also a risk.
As dozens of dolphins took off for a fast-paced swim through the ocean, making for one incredible sight. Tim, this doesn't even look real. It's so amazing.
For some reason, I picture myself riding one of those. It'd be so fun. Probably shouldn't. We're looking at another awesome August day today. Temperatures out there this morning starting off near 70 degrees. 70 degrees at
That looks very nice. And yes, it would be a good beach day if we could go to the beaches here.
Yeah, it would be. We're looking at temperatures along the lake shore, probably about 80 degrees away from lakefront, well into the 80s. And yeah, it was very calm watching that. And then I saw this spider, this giant spider on our camera lens here. Not so calm anymore, but just a small spider, actually. We're looking at some sunshine.
Checking out the My Home Office playset from Fisher-Price. It has everything a 3-year-old needs to take on corporate America from home. There's a laptop, a headset for video conferences, and even a latte to keep them running throughout the day. All that's missing is the doll interrupting a pretend parent Zoom meeting. It's like, hey, look at me from behind.
Hey,
You've seen that before, right? Yeah, unfortunately, my kids, they're into the real thing. It's got to be like a real tablet, iPad.
They're like, I don't want the fake
like,
stuff.
what's this? What am I going to do with this? Nobody got time for that.
Tim, kids don't understand that it's not super fun being a grown-up all the time.
They need some pretend bills to pay.
Yeah.
There you go.
I've got a picture. This is my daughter's dog, Piper. She's about a 3-month-old black lab. I had her on the show around Memorial Day weekend when she was first born. She's gotten a lot bigger, probably doubled in size. And she was FaceTiming me. So she's looking down at the phone that was on the ground. Every once in a while, she calls me up just to see how I'm doing, check in. But yeah, she's going to feel the heat today. Another dog day of summer shaping up for us today, it looks like, with high heat and humidity. She'll feel it. You're going to need a lot of water for those pets outside today. And us humans are going to need a lot of water, too. We're looking at a scorcher of a Sunday. High temperatures getting into the low 90s. It's going to feel like 100 to 102. Hot and steamy for us on this Sunday. It won't last long, about another 24 hours or so. Then things will start to cool off. Storms mainly tonight and tomorrow. I say mainly because we could see a hit or miss thunderstorm pop up later on this afternoon, but most of the day dry. Cooling back to about average after today, and slowly the dew points will drop tomorrow as we get more comfortable towards the middle of next week. Right now we're in the upper 70s, 78 degrees at O'Hare, 77 at Midway, 73 degrees out west towards Aurora, where we had a little bit of fog this morning. From there about towards DeKalb. Dew points, this is critical. They're in the low 70s, so it feels like the tropics have descended on Chicago. It's very humid out there. Visibility is for the most part pretty good, but there's that fog, about 3-mile visibility out in DeKalb right now. Real-time clouds and radar, plenty of sunshine right now. We got a ridge of high pressure. We're on the backside of it. Got a cold front approaching from the west, so we're funneling up that heat and humidity with a southwest breeze. Thunderstorms occurring out ahead of that cold front across parts of Minnesota, and that's the kind of thing we could see in more scattered variety late this afternoon. A better chance overnight tonight. Heat advisories to the north, to the west of us. Nothing in our immediate area, but awfully close to heat advisory criteria. It's going to feel like 102 to 103 later on this afternoon. So starting off dry, but sticky this morning. Our real-time satellite radar tracker shows the clouds popping up a bit this afternoon. We'll mix in some. Maybe 3 or 4 o'clock could see that hit or miss shower thunderstorm, but a better chance around midnight through about 6 or 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. And then things hopefully start to dry out a little bit tomorrow afternoon. The dew points start to drop. Could see a couple of heavier downpours early tomorrow, especially south of the city. High temperatures today getting up into the low 90s. Tonight's lows in mid 70s. Tomorrow's high temperatures a more reasonable low to mid 80s. Today about 93 for the high. Partly sunny later on this afternoon after a sunny start. Maybe a late day hit or miss thunderstorm. Better chance for a few storms tonight. Down to 77. Here's your your 7-day forecast. Most of it about average after today. Mid-80s Monday, Tuesday through Thursday, low 80s Friday and Saturday. Best chance of storms tomorrow, maybe a hit or miss thunderstorm on Wednesday. But again, the big story today, the heat and humidity, it's going to feel like that combination anywhere between around 97 and 102, 103 degrees. Try to stay cool today.
Thanks, Tim.